Hello everybody, welcome to Raising Vibrations and your assignment today. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the new moon in Aries, and this was for the 1st of April 2022. Okay, so first things first, I actually completely forgot about this new moon. So my time-space reality, when I realized this, I was like, oh shoot, I need to be able to create some content that can help us process through this. And also me, right? Okay, so upon processing and getting a sense of what this new moon represents, how you can potentially interpret it, is to look at it in three ways. Well, at least I'm looking at it in three ways. One is that there is a really strong emphasis on understanding the underlying psychological and emotional attachments that you have towards your life, towards the objects, towards the things that you have. So examining underlying psychological and emotional attachments. And then through those attachments, asking yourself, is this rewarding me with growth and empowerment? Am I being nourished by these attachments? Am I being supported by these attachments? Okay, that's kind of the South Node in Scorpio, and I'm thinking about Saturn in Aquarius. Okay, the underlying or other part of this new moon is self-leadership, and this has to do with the Sun and of course the moon that was in Aries, but today the Sun conjunct Chiron. Okay, so Aries energy, very alive at the moment. And then finally, a big part of this process is the North Node in Taurus, which is investing in yourself, learning to recognize what skills you have, and focusing your time and attention on nurturing those skills, developing an inner self-reliance ability, understanding what resources you have inside of yourself, and nurturing those resources, taking time, Saturn, at the moment, and really considering where you put your time and how does that time grow you as a person? How does it give you the potential to become more impactful in your ideals that you want to experience, your dreams that you wish to live, your goals that you wish to work towards, your overall ability of what state of mind or emotional space you wish to live through? These are essences at the moment, or states of being that we can essentially cultivate and anchor into yourself. And one of the main reasons as to why I'm pushing this a lot through the symbols and also interpreting this way is because through my eyes, when I look at Saturn in Aquarius at the moment, as it squares the South and North Node of the chart, which I'll show you, we are at a point in which now Saturn is saying there is a huge tectonic shift that is taking place within our consciousness. And the more that you are in a state of dependency towards things that are draining you, that are pulling your life force away, right, the less you're going to actually be able to feel that you can take charge of your life, that you can lead the direction that you want, that you can experience or process or live in the way that you feel is freeing to you. Okay, so Mars, Venus, Sun in Aquarius, sorry, not Sun, but Saturn in Aquarius, all of these planets are really pushing towards, or are showing us that there is a need for breaking free. The paradox of this is that there is also a parallel reality in which it seems like it's the opposite. And in many cases it is. So the idea here with regards to this chart and what is available for us at a self-growth perspective is that there is a tremendous potential for really looking inward and beginning to explore where and what you invest in within yourself, within your time, what it is that is rewarding you for deep inner connection to the things that you want to experience more of in your life, right? And then free yourself from where you may have had internalized messages, emotional and psychological patterns that are about something that is rewarding something else, right? Or giving your power outside of yourself to something. So let me explain what I mean by this. So, two things, okay? One, let's say you're employed by a company, okay? And this company comes to you and says to you, hey, like, unfortunately, due to some unforeseen circumstances, we need to let you go, okay? Or a large percentage of the department is being let go, just an example. There's two ways for you to respond to this. Outside of the shock that will occur in the first day, after a short period of time, like 3 or 4 days, there's two ways to respond to this. There's a way in which you respond where, through the loss of the attachment or osmosis with the work and what it represents to you, you feel that your entire life has collapsed, that you need this work, that it is absolutely essential to your survival. And in one way, it is for the time that you had it, okay? But when you attach your sense of self, or self-worth, or security to the job and the osmosis with the job, you are then going to be subjected to an external locus of control. In other words, the events outside dictate your emotional responses and definitions inward. This leading you to being in a state of dependency. This dependency then rules your emotional ability to make clear, conscious, and self-respecting choices, because you are, in a sense, held to the emotions of the fear or the loss that is occurring. Now, at some point, every single one of us has had this experience in some way, some shape. It doesn't have to be at work, it can be anything. Your house, it can be the loss of a car, it can be the loss of a pet, okay? Loss takes place. So, within the scope, we can also respond this way. And this is what the chart advocates with the North Node in Taurus, the planets in Aries. Mars and Saturn are in a closing phase relationship, so Mars is really pushing the Saturn component here, right? Okay, Mars is really pushing the Saturn component here, which has a lot to do with your relationship to feeling limitation around you and then choosing to participate in that limitation, or trying to figure out ways of freeing yourself from that limitation, right? At least inwardly. So option 2 is you can see this as a phase in your life in which there is going to be some big changes. Up until this point, your routine, your sense of security in terms of your ability to meet your demands, like the responsibilities of paying for things or your house, etc. This will temporarily create a issue, right? Things would change. If you recognize within yourself that the skill and the value that you brought to the company cannot be taken away, and that it is inherently in you, and that your capacity to trust yourself, to navigate yourself, and to recognize other opportunities exist, and that it's taking the action or having the agency of recognizing these things, then all this is a phase in your life in which it's not as ideal as what it was prior to this. And the goal here is to really sense and understand that the internal value structure, the skills, the friends you made, the networks you created, the experiences you went through during that attachment to that work cannot be taken away. So maximize that, work on that, become aware of what those skills can bring for you. Because right now, with everything in Taurus and Saturn squaring the nodes, there is an invitation to perceive and understand that internally within you, the skills and resources that you have in yourself is a number one priority and a number one investment. So what are you investing in is the question with these planets. Are you investing in yourself? Are you investing in things that are essentially of a disassociation nature, right? So what happens is you keep in a cycle, and in that cycle, you are distracted, and that distraction leaves you not investing time that grows and rewards your inner resource so that you can contribute to the wider community. Yeah? So again, I bring back the question, the message of this full moon, or pardon me, this new moon, is how can you start to look at your day, look at your routines, and look at your time and see where are you investing in yourself? Where are you taking the time to look at what resource you are, see yourself as an asset, and how can you maximize you as an asset? How can you maximize yourself as something that has value to contribute to the community, contribute to the world, contribute to your immediate environment, whatever that may be? Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to shift to the astrology chart, and I'm going to show you where this message is encoded within the planets. All right, so here we have the astrology chart, and as you can see, here is where the sun and moon have connected together over here. Let's click on the actual moon itself. That's where the sun moon connected in 11 degrees of Aries. And as you're watching this, the sun would have clicked over and is now exactly on Chiron. Chiron's message in Aries is very layered, but in a sense, it has to do with a deep psychological and emotional release of somatic attachments to where you are still stuck in feelings of oppression, feelings of not being able to move forward with your life. It is also where we are healing as a collective around a deep betrayal trauma, which is one thing that I'll share with you guys. Betrayal trauma, essentially what we're talking about here is like boundaries being broken, living in culture where, how do we discern the difference between what I'm feeling and what you're feeling, living in a type of world where our equilibrium of healthy relationships was really one-sided. So emotional suppression. Chiron through Aries is helping us develop this deep inner relationship to our own internal emotional landscape and to emerge freedom from that, right? To see ourselves in a new way, to be able to break free from certain emotional and psychological patterns so that you can lead your life in a way that is different. This is why there is a huge revolution going on at the moment. Okay, so that's where this is at the moment. And that's also the pattern that I'm talking about when I talk about, the ability to pursue the thing that you love, the ability to pursue something and build a skill with that. Okay, right? Connect with the things that you are good at and start to nurture that. That's the current message there in Aries, right? Take that chance, start a new direction. Why? Because Aries is associated with Mars, and Mars is very, very important in this chart, not only because of the fact that Aries is associated with Mars and it's a new moon, but Mars is coming up to a conjunction with Saturn. Okay, so you heard me talk about Saturn square the nodes. This is what I mean. There's the 90-degree angle that sits there, and there is Mars about to hit Saturn. And Mars is going to trigger the Saturn archetype, and it's going to trigger this, and it's going to trigger this. And this is it. This is the core of the message that I've been putting across here. Right? Look at unconscious look at patterns of attachments where your response to things, where your response to life is disempowerment or feeling disempowered in some way. Looking at those patterns and then beginning to recognize and shift your attention to what resources you have in you. And then from that resource, nurture that, cultivate that, learn a new skill, develop a new ability to harness a resource in your life and start to cultivate that. Okay, very, very important right now. This is a time to wake up and essentially build your own inner real estate. Okay, so empower yourself, develop skills, pursue what you want to build. Okay, and ultimately recognize that you are your most valued asset. Okay, so self-interest is the key here that I want to put across with this energy at the moment. So, recently I just put out a video on the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, and you can go check that out as well. I'll post that in the description if you haven't watched it yet. I go through a lot of themes that will deeply support the South Node in Scorpio patterning, how to heal betrayal trauma, not so much how to heal betrayal trauma, but in a sense, work with our emotional attachments that lead to patterns of addiction. And those addictions keep us distracted. Those distractions keep us out of our bodies in the sense that we're not actually seeing each moment or each day as an opportunity to grow something or build something or establish something within yourself. It doesn't have to be something physical. It can ultimately be that, hey, I want to do this in my life more. So what can you do every day that eventually shifts your life to doing that thing that you want to do more, to bring more love into your life, to bring more creativity into your life, to bring more innovation to your life, to bring more whatever it is into your life. This is that time. Okay. So as you can see, it's very clear over here. This Uranus North Node is going to come up closer together and recognize the resources in you. Okay. We're at a point right now where there is a tremendous amount of fear projected into the world. And the question is, does that fear control you? Okay. All right. So very, very simple, straightforward chart, nothing too much to actually speak upon. I'm sure you get the message by now. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Okay. So welcome back, everybody. I really hope that the dialogue that I had in the beginning of this video, plus the chart work, was able to help you synthesize, bridge the two patterns that I'm talking about: self-leadership, self-empowerment, and the ability to be able to begin looking at your time that you spend in your day and recognize where that time is being, in a sense, wasted, and where you could be spending time nurturing, growing, facilitating, supporting your capacity for deeper growth. Because the more that you are of value to yourself, the more you are of value and support to your environment, the more you can also then become valuable to the overarching community. You're more valuable within the context of how you could serve people if you feel that you want to do that, if you want to lead, as an example. So this is the kind of scope that we are looking at right now. So two things that I want to bring to your attention. One of them is, of course, don't forget to check the link beneath this video. You'll see there is a link to book a free 15-minute call with either myself or Jen. We are in a position where we are wanting to serve and help people to find deeper purpose, to be able to experience greater ability of healing traumas, wounds, etc., being able to self-discover through using tools like astrology and human design. So we're in a position to do this. We have a fantastic program that essentially helps people reach these deeper states. And we want to know if there's an opportunity for us to work with you, and the other way around. So if you book a free 15-minute call, we're going to have a chat with you. Let's see what your needs are. And if they match, fantastic. And if they don't, that's still okay, because we've always got resources that we'd like to pass on to you to support you anyway. Okay. So don't forget to check out that link beneath this video. Now, just before I end this video, I want to say thank you so much to every single one of you that watches this. A shout out to all of you that share your comments. I see all the regulars. I appreciate you. We appreciate you as always. And if you like this video, make sure that the algorithm knows that by clicking the like button, of course. If you're new to this content and you're new to Raising Vibrations, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And of course, as always, if you feel that this offers value to yourself and to people, please share it and spread the message as far and wide as possible. Okay? Until another video, my friends, thank you so much for listening. As always, take care. Bye-bye.